So here we go, as expected, a huge roar for these GB athletes that are about to start racing. So we do have the bronze medal ride-off first, as I mentioned, Fiona Southorn and Crystal Lane first, but then Sarah Story, one of the most successful Paralympians in Great Britain's history, Sarah Story, of course a swimmer first. Now an amazing cyclist and very popular, and she's been part of a lot of the media coverage in the lead up to these games as well. Got a very high profile. See her picture all around the place, lots of interviews on television, online. She's keeping a blog which you can see through the Paralympics website if you're interested.
So back to the track again, and 2 more ride-offs, 4 medals. We come now to the women's individual C5 pursuit ride-offs. Again, for New Zealand, world bronze medalist from Los Angeles earlier this year, Fiona Southern. Fighting for the bronze, representing Great Britain, Crystal Lane.
So no surprises there. Crystal Lane getting a very, very warm reception as she lines up to race for the bronze medal in the women's individual C5 pursuit. This is the finals. So this, then the gold medal ride-off as well, featuring Sarah Story. And not a great start there for Crystal Lane. You see she wobbled quite a bit to the side, but look, it doesn't matter anywhere near as much as it does in the time trial to get a good start, because you do have that bit more time to build up your speed, and really the important part of this race is the back end of it, to see whether you can sustain your speed in as the burn sets in. But you can see Crystal Lane really well off the pace there, because she had a bit of a dodgy start there. She pretty much rolled out sideways out of the blocks, but that doesn't matter because the crowd is really getting behind her here. And it's not a huge damage anyway. It's only 7/10 of a second off the pace. Let's see what she's been able to, and she's managing, look, you can see that already, she's managing to make that up. Clawing it back ever so slightly, but Fiona Southorn, she's going to want this medal. She'll be playing off the crowd as well, that energy. Doesn't matter if it's not all for you. You can still go as fast as possible. Using that energy from the stadium is really quite deafening in there. It's cut the deficit in half already, so about 4/10 of a second. Crystal Lane is behind Fiona Southorn. You can see both coaches urging their athletes on. Cutting it ever so slightly. So Crystal Lane now just shaving off every lap, just shaving off a few hundredths of a second. Appears to have dropped back just slightly after that one though. This is what we love to see in the finals, is nice close racing. Each rider pursuing each other. Crystal Lane now dropping off ever so slightly, just under a second behind Fiona Southorn. Now just over a second. So Fiona Southorn's having a ride of her life here. She's gaining ground every half lap. Every update that we're getting now, she's gaining ground. Now almost, it's 1.745 seconds in front. So once you get up to sort of the 2-second lead, with around 500 metres to go, you'd have to start to feel pretty comfortable. Still though, there's a little bit of this race left to play out. Can she use the crowd? Can Crystal Lane use the crowd to her advantage and give her that extra impetus she needs. No, she's looking well off the pace now. It's looking as though it's going to be Fiona Southorn's day. Still a kilometre left to go though. So stroking the pedals through, having an efficient action is what's needed here, and this is going to give Fiona Southorn a huge boost. She's going to be able to see Crystal Lane and think, I've got her. I've absolutely got her. And instead of thinking about easing off, it makes you even more excited to know that you're not that far off the pace and that the medal is within your grasp. And she's going to want to finish strong and keep Crystal Lane in her sights. If not, make up even more ground, have the chance of passing her. But I just don't think that's going to be possible. We've only got 500 metres left to go. There may not be quite enough time, but look at her go. Fiona Southorn, the Kiwi, is having the ride of her life. You can now see her down the straight, but can she catch on this last lap? Can she do it? And she's ever so close, a half a lap to go. The crowd has gone absolutely wild. This is amazing. It's fantastic. Great atmosphere, considering it's the GB rider who was well off the pace, and the crowd is just so generous in their praise and applause, and also cheering on for Crystal Lane, who's now finished 4th overall in this competition, which is a fantastic result, although it will be disappointing for her to finish just outside the medals. However, Fiona Southorn, what a fantastic race. So 3:55. Sarah Story's world record now is 3 minutes 32. So that gives you an understanding. I mean, we saw Fiona Southorn racing just then. She looked incredible, so smooth, so efficient, and just sort of purring around the track. But she is 23 seconds slower than Sarah Story. So that gives you an indication of just how talented Sarah Story is and how dominant she is in this sport. But Anna Haukowska, the Polish rider, she had a great morning this morning, so she'll be feeling quite buoyant coming into this. And just because the crowd isn't necessarily all cheering for you doesn't mean you're not drawing off that energy and drawing off that atmosphere and enjoying performing on a stage. It does lift you to the next level. And let's see, sometimes it's also a bit of a blessing being the underdog going into a final like this in terms of being able to manage the nerves.